Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we gotta be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello everybody, and welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving on in. So folks, for today's episode here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be presenting to you a concept that I had originally developed, but I was able to expand upon, take it in a little bit of a different direction than what I had originally thought about, because I was able to find something in a news article that kind of was able to allow me to, go in that different direction. Now, when we're talking about sports, whatever the sport is, for the most part, the name of the game is to outscore your opponent. That's the name of the game. Doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, hell, doesn't even matter if it's golf. The point of the matter is you're trying to outscore your opponent, whoever that case might be. And when you're talking about football, football is an interesting sport because there's a number of ways in which you can score other than just offensively. And within that, there's a number of ways you can score offensively. You can do what I like to call the slow grind, which is where we chip away, we slowly wear you down, we're going to just break you. You can do where the defense will score for you. Some defenses are so opportunistic that they will generate scoring on their own. You can also have, if your offense or defense is not too particularly good at scoring points, you can also have your special team score points by way of field goals. And of course, as we're going to talk about in this episode, you have what I like to call the simple outputting of your opponent by simply burying them in a flurry of points to where they just cannot keep up. Now, in the NFL, most people would advocate for a balanced attack. Why? Well, number one, having a balanced attack makes a defense on the opposing side of things, much more difficult to try and stop you because, well, they don't really know which way you're going to go. That's number one. But also number two, for your own defense, it gives that defense a chance to rest. It gives them a chance to recuperate a little bit. So that way they're not constantly out on the field getting wore out. But when we're talking about the Detroit Lions offense for 2025, I've used this analogy before, and I'm going to use it again here. You cannot swing a dead cat in any direction for the Detroit Lions without hitting a playmaker. You just simply can't do it. That's how much powerful weaponry this Lions offense has. And the best way I can put it is this. To me, the Lions offense in 2025, it is so damn powerful that if they were to try and play a balanced attack of football, more often than not, the Lions would have to hold back. That's how damn powerful I believe this offense is. And I don't see the Lions, going in that direction as often because of the simple fact of the matter is when you take a look at, Dan Campbell, you take a look at John Morton, you take a look at Jared Goff, these are guys that are advocating for an approach of, okay, we're going to try and, stick it to you. We're going to try and bury you. We're going to try and win whatever it takes. And if that means we're going to, outpour as much points as we can on you, that's exactly how we're going to do it. I mean, for crying out loud, take a look at how we were last year with all the 30, 40, and 50-point games that we had. Our offense was damn unstoppable last year. But this year, I believe it's going to be even better. Now, when we think about this, I could speak to you all in generalizations about the point I'm trying to make, but you guys know me way too well by now. I don't really generalize much of anything. I'm all about facts. I'm all about being in depth with my analysis. That's what I do. And so that's what I'm going to do in this episode as much as I possibly can. Again, I'm going to try and put as much, factual data as I can in front of your guys' face to where it's going to be like, you can't ignore it. So let's take a look at that information. Let's take a look at the statistical analysis. Let's take a look at the in-depth analysis that I have. When it comes to the Detroit Lions offense, their ability to attack and to do so the way they have been able to do in the past, but the way I believe they're going to do even more so in 2025, it exists everywhere on the offense, like I said, from all their playmakers, for at least three main reasons. Reason number one is because of just the sheer talent that they have, which is a pretty straightforward concept because, hey, talent is talking about a player's overall skill. The second reason is chemistry. Again, another straightforward concept. These are players that have been playing that have been playing together on the same team, the same unit for 3 years at least, some of them for 4. And then the final reason is overall experience. Again, this kind of bleeds into the whole chemistry aspect that I was just talking about, but you have to consider the fact that some of these players have experience outside of when they joined the Lions. That's number one. But also, number two, there's the coaches' experiences as well, which is the total body of work that they're bringing into the unit as coaches. Now, when you consider all those reasons, you consider all those facets, it plays a heavy role in how the Lions offense performs when you factor in all those individual components and how they work together. First, we have to understand something here. When it comes to the Detroit Lions offense, the engine of that offense, the engine of our offense, is Jared Goff. Some people might want to say it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Others might want to say it's David Montgomery. You can use another, particular analogy or a particular, reference if you want. But how the offense stops and starts is on Jared Goff. Now, when it comes to Jared Goff, I'm going to say this right now. When it comes to his physical speed, he is not the fastest quarterback in the NFL. Nowhere even damn close. But you want to know where he is particularly fast? You want to know where he is particularly quick at, doing his job? His decision making, his processing. And not only is he ridiculously fast and quick at it, he is absolutely surgically efficient and good at what he does when he does it. In fact, he's one of the best. Let me show you exactly what I mean. If you take a look at all of Jared Goff's times to throw from 2024 for all dropbacks with attempts, play action dropbacks, and, dropbacks that had no play action in them, you're going to notice a very eerily familiar pattern. Number one, they're all under 3 seconds, which that is normal. You want a quarterback to get the ball out of their hands within 3 seconds or less, but notice where he ranks. He ranks in top 10 in all of those categories. So that right there already shows that Jared Goff's ability to make decisions, good decisions, and to process information is lightning quick. It's fast as hell. And it gets even more ridiculously apparent when you actually start going in even more deep with the statistics and with the analysis. When you take a look at Jared Goff's 2024 stats for his time to throw in less than 2.5 seconds, this is what you'll see. Last year, for, dropbacks or throws that were under 2.5 seconds, Jared Goff was 5th in completion percentage, he was 9th in passing yards, 7th in pass average per throw, 3rd in passing touchdowns, 4th in passer rating, and he was tied 13th in overall average time to throw. Now, some are going to say, well, that tied 13th doesn't sound that good. Well, let's understand something here. First and foremost, we're already factoring in that, number one, the pass attempt, the throw, whatever you want to call it, was under 2.5 seconds to begin with. The fact that Jared Goff's average time to throw in that particular concept was 1.89 seconds, that's just absolutely crazy. Average human reaction time is about 2 to 3 seconds, so we'll say 2.5 seconds just to be fair and right in the middle. So Jared Goff, on throws that are under 2.5 seconds on average, he is literally almost a whole second faster than an average human being is in terms of decision making and in terms of processing. Now, on the opposite side of that coin, from under 2.5 seconds, you have over 2.5 seconds. These are your throws that are typically, further down the field. They take longer times to develop, whereas under 2.5 seconds are typically your shorter routes, your quick developing plays, like your hitches, your slants, your quick outs, your quick ins, or another one that we saw quite a bit last year, the hook and ladder. Well, when you take a look at Jared Goff's stats when it takes him over 2.5 seconds to throw, this is what you see. Last year, Jared Goff was first in completion percentage in that category. He was second in passing yards, first in pass average per throw, tied fourth in passing touchdowns, and ranked third in passer rating and ranked third in time to throw. So let me just put this out there, folks. When Jared Goff has time, and the play is a further developing down the field type of play, which means it's a deeper play, the supposed thing that Jared Goff is not good at doing, those deeper route concepts, Jared Goff is quite literally a top 5 quarterback. Actually, top 3. Think about that. The further down the field it is, the longer it takes for the play to develop, Jared Goff is one of the best quarterbacks, top 3 quarterbacks, according to last year's stats. And what makes it even better is the fact that of that group, he's still within the top 3 when it comes to average time to throw. So even on longer developing plays, he is still getting the ball out faster than virtually almost everybody. So what this clearly shows, whether it's less than 2.5 seconds or greater than 2.5 seconds, is that Goff quite literally is one of the fastest processing, fastest decision-making quarterbacks in the NFL. But as I also said earlier, he is deadly efficient with how he does it. Going back to all those rankings that I just showed up there were 12 of them. Half of the rankings that I put up there are in the top 3. And all but one of those rankings is in the top 10. So you can say what you want about Ben Johnson supposedly making Jared Goff, whatever he is right now. But those stats I just showed, especially the time to throw stats, show unequivocally that is a lie. Ben Johnson cannot tell Jared Goff what decisions to make with the football on the field, number one. Number two, Johnson could not even try to do that because, let's think about this here. Where is Ben Johnson on the field? Oh, that's right. He's on the sideline. He can't see what the defense looks like directly in front of him. He can only see what it looks like from the sideline, which at best is still a slightly off-angle view. And then, on top of that, Johnson's not going to be able to somehow shout into his headset to Goff, throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, or throw it to J-Mo in 2.5 seconds or less on average. Because, again, if you go back to the stats that I referred to in the very beginning, on average, Jared Goff is taking about 2.5 seconds, to throw the football for almost all of his throws. So think about that. Not only could Johnson not see what the defense is doing, or what shifts it's making, or what different kind of schemes it's trying to do, he couldn't even, tell Jared Goff what he wants him to do in the span of time from when the ball is snapped to when the ball leaves Goff's hand fast enough. But then on top of that, Goff is the one that's on the field. He's the one that has to make the decisions, not Ben Johnson. So putting all that together is me providing that information that shows unequivocally that Jared Goff is the engine that makes this offense go. But again, it's not just Jared Goff. It's all of the weapons that he has. As I said, can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of those weapons. Because here's the thing, as I just stated, obviously Jared Goff does not have the speed that a guy like Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields has. His quickness, his quick strike ability comes from his ability to process and divulge information at an expedited rate. Well, when you understand the fact that Jared Goff is that fast of a processor, It makes the physical talent that surrounds Goff within this offense that much more ridiculously deadly. Consider the overall speed in comparison that the Lions have to most other offenses and that Jared Goff has at his disposal. You have obviously Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs at his 40-yard dash ran a 4.36. While we know Jameson Williams didn't run a 40-yard dash at his, combine, in 2025, according to Next Gen Stats, he ran a blazing fast time of 20.78 miles per hour when he was at top speed. If you were to put that on a 40-yard dash from start to finish, that would give Jameson Williams a 40-yard time of 4.1 seconds. So if we're thinking about that, it will take him at least a half a second to get up to full speed. So to me, a reasonable estimate of how fast Jameson Williams is somewhere in the low 4.2s to the high 4.2s. Then you obviously have Khalif Raymond. His 40-yard dash, even though he's now past 30, it was still a pretty damn fast blazing time. It was a 4.34. Isaac Tesla, a 4.43, which for a guy who is 6'4", 216 pounds, the guy can move. And then obviously for Sam Laporta, his 40-yard time is a 4.59, which that's nowhere near as fast as the other guys, but compare him to other tight ends in the NFL, that's pretty damn fast, especially, again, considering the fact that he is 6'3", 250 pounds pretty much. So when you consider all of those elements, you consider all of those weapons, the physical speed that our offense has, the talent that this offense has, the chemistry that it has built up over the last couple of years, and the experience that they themselves have built with each other, and then all of those veterans, all of those coaches have to bring into this offense, what it shows is that this offense, as I demonstrated very clearly earlier, and as I've stated with the concept of this episode, is that it has the ability to strike deadly fast at any given moment. Because of the fact that Jared Goff is such a fast processor with information and great with decision making, but also because of the physical overall talent and speed that are weapons that Goff has surrounding him. So I'm going to tell you this right now. When you take a look at the Detroit Lions offense in 2025, do not at all be surprised if this Lions offense quite literally does what it did last year in quite a number of games in terms of scoring 30, 40, 50 points on quite a regular basis. The point of the matter I'm trying to make with this is that it doesn't matter if we hand the ball off to Gibbs. It doesn't matter if Goff throws the ball, whether it's in terms of a straight drop back, if it's in terms of a play action drop back. It does not matter. The Lions have more than enough ways to get a quick strike capability from their offense, whether it's handing the ball off to Gibbs, like I said, whether it's giving it to Jameson Williams on an end around, whether it's just Goff throwing the ball. They have that quick strike capability. That's part of the reason why I advertised, I don't remember when I did this, but I talked about this for sure because I definitely remember the episode. I was like, it would not at all surprise me that due to the Lions, talent, that if they were to employ some kind of an offense that's very similar to the K-gun offense that the Bills ran in the early 90s, that it would be monumentally successful. And the statistics that Jared Goff has in terms of how fast he can throw the ball and get the ball out of his hands, not only in terms of his overall processing speed, but also in terms of how great he makes decisions, backs that up 100%. And then, like I said, when you factor in the physical talent that the weapons he has surrounding him have, that just makes it that much more clearly evident that the Lions are in a perfect ability to absolutely demoralize and demolish defenses just by simply doing a 1, 2, or 3 play drive, because that's what they have at their weaponry. That's what they have to work with. And it's a great thing to have as an offense because it allows you to do virtually anything you want. Because for defenses, Defense is 95% of the time reactionary. So it's like you're reacting to what the offense is doing. And like I said, average reaction time for most humans is about 2 to 3 seconds. Well, if you've got a quarterback that is either getting the ball out faster than that on average, or regardless if it takes him longer, he's still taking less time than the average quarterback and still making great decisions, it makes it damn near impossible to try and stop that, to try and counter that. And then when you consider the physical speed, like I said, with our weapons, good freaking luck. That's the point of my episode. That is my concept. That is my in-depth stats. That's my in-depth analysis. You do with that what you will. But I'm telling you this sure as God made little green apples. The Lions are going to be coming after teams with an absolutely lightning strike capability. It will be Lions blitzkrieg offense this year. I have no doubt about that in my mind. But I'm going to end this episode, and I just want to say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. Hope you all enjoyed the concept. Hope you all enjoyed the information. If you did, I hope to gain your subscription if I have not already, but I also hope that you will hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you all got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. God bless, my friends, and until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.